What's up, Osos? Alright, so for this video, I'm gonna just talk about like my honest opinions on cartoons. And by the way, I didn't have no list written down. I literally just thought about this like 30 something minutes ago. I was just eating, and then this idea came to my head out of nowhere. Alright, well, I'm gonna just go. Yeah, I'm gonna just freestyle this video real quick. So one thing about me, I feel as though like cartoons don't really teach kids and necessary things. Like they teach kids stuff that has no meaning or nothing to, you know, help them in the long run. You know, when as they get older, it just it's just there. I feel like they teach kids, you know, really no common sense. They do stupid. Like if you watch SpongeBob or something like that, they do stupid things. They're not teaching these kids nothing. So I personally would not have, you know, I personally wouldn't watch SpongeBob with a child. You know, if you're like still young, if you like probably like at least I don't know. It's a hard if. It's a hard if for me. So I think probably around 12, 13 maybe. That's still a little too young because SpongeBob is one main character that's even worse. Like these characters don't teach these kids nothing. Like I said, just put on the screen for their enjoyment, I guess. Um, and I feel like this is kind of ruining like society for them when they get older, because they're gonna be looking into these cartoons and thinking about, oh, I remember so and so did this, and thinking, and I'm not talking about older as like an adult. I'm talking about older around 6, 7, 8, and think that's a smart idea. Like, no, some of these cartoon characters really have no brains. They function like the way how they function is just stupid. Like the way how these creators made these characters is stupid. But like now you have like cartoons that it don't really have no educational meaning, but it does talk about imagination skills. That's probably a good choice. You know, I will let my child watch, but I have to look into it first because sometimes these cartoons be having too much adult humor. Even like back when I was younger, it has so much adult humor. Even though I comprehended them, it made sense. Like I never watched a show and they talk about, you know, eating kittens. I knew what it meant. I wasn't gonna tell my mom what I think it meant because I don't know. She might think I was doing something weird when I was younger. I don't know. So I was never gonna tell my mom what I think. What these cartoons are saying, like, oh, eating kittens. Like I'm just, you know, or if they say something stupid like this character put a snake in my pants or something like that. Something stupid like that. I'm not gonna tell my mom what I think it means because, you know, my mom is black, so she gonna obviously trying to, you know. So you know, I don't know. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just my mouth shut. But I know what these cartoons are talking about. Like a lot of these shows or teenage shows or whatever. It has too many adult humor. That and it have so much dark jokes, like dark humor jokes. It's just like wow. Talk about somebody like falling down a window or falling off a cliff or something like that, like or in terms of that, and it's just like, bro, what have I been watching all these years? What am I or what have I been watching all these years? Because, bro, these people are nuts. And it's not obviously it's not like the characters itself. It's more so like the people who writing these stories, and also it's really not really well. It's not really the directors either, but the directors also have a say so, and these directors actually enjoy uh making their cast members saying these provocative things. These things really are provocative if you say it explicitly, but of course they're gonna say it explicitly because it's a kid show. So why would they say it? You know, why would they be explicit about this? However, though, people need to actually understand, like, if you want to make so much provocative adult jokes or whatever, don't put that in a kid show more importantly, do not put that in a kid's cartoon because it's not. What are they getting? What are they gaining from that? Like, if you ask me, I feel like you're losing more than you're getting, because if you put in all these adult jokes out, you don't know if these parents are watching. These days, though, I'm not gonna lie, parents don't be watching what their kids watching, because they either on their phone, they're talking to their boyfriends, girlfriends, they're doing God knows what they're doing, right? So, I mean, you could probably get past messing with this generation. And it's just like, how could we deal? Like, these parents don't even pay attention with their kids watching. So, but you might be lucky. We might be lucky if there might be a parent watching. Like, if a parent or an older sibling, uncle, whatever, could bring it to the parent's attention. Like, why are you letting your child watch that? Like, what they just said, even though your child doesn't understand it yet, eventually they'll watch a show or cartoon some years from now, and they're like, wait, whoa, hold up. And this is how kids go to school saying provocative things to either their teachers, their classmates, to whoever. Um, deep down, I really feel like cartoons are not benefiting children at all because they're talking about BS. That, and another thing I didn't want to say was, well, if you're looking at actual kids cartoon like Coco Melon, I don't know if it's a cartoon or it's like a preschool I don't really know what to call it, but like, because I know like cartoons is more like on TV, so I don't know if like the YouTube thing, I don't know, I generally have no clue. But Coco Melon, for instance, right? They talk about mommy and daddy all the time, which is understandable. And I get it, because you live with your mommy, you live with your daddy. But what I don't get is that why do they always say mommy and daddy? Not just Coco Melon. I'm talking about any shows or cartoons that these kids watch. Why is it always mommy and daddy? Why don't it always have to be? Why isn't it always mommy or daddy? Because in reality, mommy and daddy don't live in the same house. Mommy and daddy cannot deal with one another. Yeah, the child might not know that part, but like, there's some people in the house that's desperately want their mommy and daddy to be together, because kids are not stupid. They know whether you think they know or you think they don't know. They know. So for the fact that these cartoons always allow my kids saying mommy and daddy all the time, it's just making these kids feel less without parents. Not only that, they might live in separate places or whatever, or they might actually be divorced. Both parents, or maybe one could be dead. Like, why I don't talk about that? Like, I understand kids are kids, and you think they don't know because they're so young, but you have to understand, okay? When you keep pinpointing, when you keep pinpointing mommy and daddy and brothers and sisters, these kids without brothers and sisters, mommy and or daddies, or both, like I said earlier, they're gonna actually keep thinking to yourself, like, why isn't my life like theirs? Why isn't, and that mentality, I'm telling you, that mentality is going to stick with them for the rest of their lives. Because if you think about it, from now, they're pretty much watching these cartoons and talking about why isn't mommy and daddy together. On the other hand, they're going to school and seeing their mommies and daddies, or mommies and their daddy, depending on which way it goes. They're going to be like, I wonder why my mommy and or my daddy don't do this for me. Or they see their mommy or daddy. I'm going to say mommy or daddy. I'm not saying mommy and daddy because that's not always true. So I'm going to say mommy or daddy, like I just said. They're like, why don't I see mommy or daddy picking me and my siblings up, knowing they don't have no siblings? And the fact that these kids live in a single parent house, it's just like, it blows my mind, because y'all don't understand what other kids are going through. Now, I'm not saying all shows do this, because I generally don't watch all shows. I definitely don't watch TV. I don't watch cartoons. I really can't say that. But some parents, some kids live with don't live with none of their parents, probably due to personal reasons. These kids be living with their aunties, their uncles, their grandmas, their grandpas, their what's divorced parents, their foster parents. You know, like, you have to understand, like, you guys have to be mindful of what you're putting out there to these children. These children have different life, or what you keep putting out there, like saying mommy and daddy gonna do this with me, mommy and daddy gonna do this, that. No, like, you have to understand, like, not every single kid was taught from their mom or their dad. Some was actually probably taught from their uncles or their aunties or their grandmas or their whatever. Like, you have to understand, like, these kids are not gonna fully fathom in the future, like, why isn't my life like those kids? And when I say those kids, I literally mean those kids. Like, when they go into school. Now, I'm not even talking about preschool anymore. I'm talking about, like, stepping into first grade, stepping into fifth grade, stepping into high school. It's gonna always be like, I never saw my mommy and my daddy that happy. I never saw my mommy that happy. Why? Because I wonder if my daddy did something wrong. Or I wonder if my mommy did something wrong for my daddy not to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So all this stigmas about mommies and daddies, you know, are always there in a child's life is not a fact. Like, it's everybody knows that. As you get older, you obviously know what you know, but and I feel like if you're a parent that you probably understand, I guess. Like, I feel like, I don't care how old your child is, like, I feel like as a parent, it's best to start talking to your child now, like, hey, babe, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know how you have your connection with your kids. That's none of my business. But just go in the same lines as to, if you think that me and your dad or me and your mom don't love each other, you know, it's probably not. It's not a fact. We do, you know. No, make them know that. Make them know that the love is still there. Y'all never gave up on one another, you know. Even though y'all don't live in the same house, y'all probably married to different people, you know. They have a stepmom or a stepdad now. Like, just know that the more parents you have, I mean, this sounds stupid, but it sounds stupid, but the more parents you have, or more family members you have, the more love that's there. I don't know, say something like that, because I mean, that's what I would say, because I don't want my child to feel less than. And me personally, I've never really had that talk, due to the fact, I mean, well, it's not due to the fact, nothing, it's just I never had that talk. My mom lived in one house, my dad lived in another house, and he had a wife. That's all I know. I do also remember going to my father's house a lot, because well, for the weekends, just to spend time with him, and through the weekdays, I'd go to my mother's house, you know, and go, I think go to school from there, or something like that. But that's all I could say that I remember growing up a lot. And it sucks, because, like, my parents was in different boroughs. Like, it's also beneficial telling these kids, like, even though mommy and or daddy lives in this state, daddy or mommy live in that state, don't put the kids in it. You know, like, whatever's going on is going on. But if the kid has no clue, excuse me, if these kids have no clue as to what's going on, don't put them in it. Even if they do, don't put these kids in it. It's none of their business. Don't backtalk these kids. Don't backtalk these parents or to other parents to these kids. Like, they don't need to know what's going on like that. You know, it's not. I'm not only gonna say it's not their business, but eventually they need to know what's going on. But don't badmouth the other parent. You know, like that. It confuses the children. It does. Like, I feel like you have to step out of your comfort zone and just talk to your child. And now, as y'all have that bond, talk to your child more about more important stuff in life. Yeah, about parents aren't gonna be together, and yes, as you get older, the world's not gonna always like you due to your skin, due to your sexual orientation, due to dating outside your race, due to so many other things that what you believe in. Some people might be atheists. Some people might be an atheist. Some people might have or believe in a certain religion. So it don't matter like what it is. The world's not gonna like you or always like you. So you have to understand that. And there's more things to talk about with your children, like, you know, how to open up to how to open yourself up more to the world. You know, talk to your kid about mental health, because people, and when I say people, I mean more parents, always leave that out. Mental health, like never leave mental health out, and all the things that I just listed to your kids, never leave them out, because eventually they're going to come across that stage where they feel okay. They're gonna feel like, yeah, well, I could do this, I could do that, whatever, because my mommy ain't teach me that, my daddy ain't teach me that. We never grew up in the same household, so I can't fathom as to what you're you know, you gotta keep these kids out that mindset and let them know, like, it's okay to try different things, you know, and understand, like, we're all different in a way, but we all still bleed the same. So, like, I don't know how parents are going to teach their children in the long run, but I don't know. I would start with talking to them about mommy and or daddy, you know, how mommy's in one place, daddy's in the other, and talk to them why. But don't go too much in depth with it, but just say things like, or just say something like, I'm not going to tell you now exactly why we're not together anymore, but as you get older, and if you still care, then we can talk more like an adult type way, you know. But just be mindful, you know, of what you say to these kids, because these kids are not stupid, for one, and two, they're not going to forget what you're saying to them. So I feel like if you just be open and honest with your kids, there really shouldn't be no problems. But now, I'm not going to say what could happen or what wouldn't happen if you was abusive in a relationship. Now, that's a you problem, because you knew better. But that's all I can say. So, I mean, I don't know how your kids might feel about you afterwards. They might hate your guts. They might, I don't know, they might love you for telling them the truth. But like I said, I don't know. But once you're more open and honest, then I guess there really shouldn't be no problems. Hopefully, I pray for the best. And that's pretty much all I got for you today. And I'm going to definitely do more of these. I definitely love this type of story. Is it really a story? Something it is, but I do love doing this. So I'm going to definitely talk to you guys more about this in the future. Alright, I love you guys. Peace.